Hello friends, today we are going to make a very famous Indian sweet called Ghevar. Ghevar is available in North India during the festival of Rakhi or Rakshabandhan because Rakhi festival is coming. So let's get started and make some sweet Ghevar. So we need to make batter first. For batter we need 1.25 cups of all-purpose flour or Maida, half cup of milk, 8 ice cubes, 1/4 cup of ghee. We will also use 1 lemon, half lemon for this batter and half for sugar syrup, and 500 milliliter of chilled water. It should be really chilled. When you go to a sweet shop, the process is really very difficult because they use their hands to make the batter, which takes really a lot of time. So I have made it very simple. I'll be using a blender to make the batter. As we are going to use ice cubes in blender, please make sure the blender which you are using should be of heavy duty. Otherwise, it may damage your blender. So let's make a creamy paste of ghee. We add ice cubes and then ghee, and we will blend it for some time, probably for a minute or two, depending on the power of your blender. Once it blends, it will create a thick creamy paste, which you can see here. You may have to use spatula to move it around a little bit and then blend it once again. Don't worry too much if your mixture is not very smooth at this point, because you're going to blend other things anyway. So finally it will become really smooth. Let me show you how the texture looks like. It's very smooth, but as I said, you don't have to worry too much if it's not very smooth. Let's add milk now and blend it once again. Now the mixture would be really very smooth to some extent of flowing consistency. Let me show you this again. Now this is the time that we add all-purpose flour, little bit water, and then blend it again. So we will not add the whole amount of all-purpose flour. We'll just use half of it first, blend it, create a smooth mixture. Let's see how it looks. Water should be really chilled. As I said, that's very important, because when the batter is chilled and it goes in the hot oil, it creates that honeycomb kind of texture, which is the most important thing for Ghevar. This is the batter with half of the maida. We will add rest of the maida, a little bit of water, and blend it once again. So please keep in mind that you are not going to exceed the quantity of water more than 500 milliliter. While making the batter in mixie, you can use as much as from that 500 milliliter. Whatever water will be remaining, we will just add it to the rest of the batter later once we pour it out into a mixing bowl. So batter is ready now. I have taken some ice cubes so that I can keep the batter really chilled. Let's pour it in this mixing bowl. When it goes in the mixie, the temperature goes slightly up. So it's really important that we keep it chilled. If you think it is really, the temperature looks like the room temperature, then please keep it in the fridge. It should be really chilled, and when I say chilled, it means somewhere around the kind of water temperature you generally drink out of fridge. And what I did here, I mixed rest of the water, because it's very easy to mix water in a flowing consistency batter. A mixie is not big enough to add all the water, so that's the only reason I'm adding this water here. Let's add lemon juice here as well and mix it well. We can keep this aside for now, and let's work on our rabdi preparation. Rabdi in itself is a big task, so I have come up with a shortcut because we are going to spread it on the top of Ghevar. So you really do not need all the layers of rabdi you generally have. So what I have done is that I have taken around 200 grams of khoya. This is how we get it here, and then 1/3 cup of milk. And this is very important, condensed milk, 1/4 cup of condensed milk. This is going to give you the binding of rabdi as well as the sweetness. So what we have to do is, we are going to grate khoya or mawa, and then we are just going to mix all these things together. That's the very simple preparation. So first thing, I'm going to grate khoya or mawa. It's very simple. If it is from the fridge, you can easily grate it. If you get khoya in your country which is kind of grated or not in this solid form, you don't have to do this process. See, this is how our grated khoya looks. Now we are just going to add all the ingredients together, mix it for some time, and our rabdi is ready. In North India, we get both kind of Ghevars. One is with rabdi, another one is without rabdi. I think they call it sweet Ghevar, which is without rabdi. The one which rabdi is called Malai Ghewar. I personally prefer Malai Ghewar or the one with rabdi. I think most of you will like the Ghevar with rabdi only. So our rabdi is also ready. Let's keep this aside and work on sugar syrup. We have taken 1 cup of sugar and 1/2 cup of water. We will heat it up and then cook it for some time. As we are going to pour it on the top of Ghevar, our sugar syrup should not be very thick. We will just wait for a little while so that it's cooked, and I'll show you the consistency, how it looks like. So the syrup has started bubbling up. This is the right time to add lemon juice. Lemon juice helps with slowing down the crystallization process of sugar. If sugar gets crystallized in the syrup, once it cools down, it will have a kind of powdery substance or sugar crystals in your mouth, which will not taste good. Now you can see that it has started boiling. Once it starts boiling, just give 1 more minute and our sugar syrup is done. This is how it should look like. So let's start working on Ghevar now. First thing is, we have to choose the right pan. A pan which has vertical walls. You can see any of these pans will work. I have taken non-stick, which is not important. You can choose any kind of pan. Now almost half of the pan is filled with oil. Now I'm heating it up. Once the oil is really hot, you can start pouring the batter little by little. As you can see, I'm using a big spoon to pour the batter very little. It will sizzle. Once the sizzling stops, you can pour another batch. And this is the process which you have to do multiple times, probably around 20 to 30 times, depending on how thick Ghevar you want to make. This is something which I wanted to show you with the real sound, so that you have the feel for it. And you have to do it consistently. Make sure that there is a hole in the middle. If there is no hole, you can just kind of poke it a little bit. Here is the real sound. be very careful because you are playing with the hot oil. So I have taken a steel rod here just to take this Ghevar out from oil. Really easy, super easy, and you just put it on this wire mesh thing so that the oil goes on the plate, because it has a lot of oil which it has absorbed. So it's very important that all the oil kind of drains out so that it will taste good. In 30 minutes all the oil is drained out, so I have transferred it to a different plate. Now I'm going to add sugar syrup, and then we will garnish it with rabdi and some pistachio. This is the sugar syrup which we made, as you can see, because we put lemon, so there is no crystallization. Let's start adding sugar syrup. I'm still using that wire mesh sort of stand so that all the excess sugar syrup will go into my plate. That's very important, because you really don't want to put too much sugar syrup so that you will taste nothing else but sugar. So now you can see that all the excess sugar syrup you can see in the plate. I don't know whether you can see it very clearly, but a lot of sugar syrup is there. Now what we will do, we will add rabdi here. Very, very important. Just please keep in mind that there should be balance between rabdi and sugar syrup, because both of them are sweet. So that's why when I made rabdi, I didn't use a lot of condensed milk, because you will also have sweetness from the sugar syrup which has been absorbed by the Ghevar. Now let me add some pistachio on the top. After that, our Ghevar is ready. Share it with your brother or sister